Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Got to give all praise to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Got to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone led me to this truth who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, fast, and pray, and show forth wrath, mercy, judgment, and forgiveness to the elect, whomever they are scattered across the four corners of the earth, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, is be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So my last video, it was having some difficulties with it was lagging real bad, and I'm just coming back to redo this video because it needs to be done. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. I can actually go back in this, and I also want to go back because GMS in his likeness, he did a video. Well, he has some precepts that he put in that I want to go back and bring across. So bear with me. I'm gonna pull them up over here, and then I'm gonna pull them up when it's time to pull them up. There we go. They're right there. Okay. So I'll deal with them in a moment. So the title of this lesson, let me make sure this is not lagging out like it did last time. There was something going on at the time with the internet, so we finna check. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like it's going good. Yeah, it sounds like it's going good. Okay, cool. Okay. Checking, make sure everything's working. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back into this again. Wanted to make sure that everything was running right to where it's not not buffering in and out, So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. So what I was dealing with earlier was talking about the CBD system will lead to absolute government control. And what I was talking about earlier today was talking about basically this one world government system, this new world order system is not the first time this has happened. Everything that's happened and that's happening is happened once. It's already happened once. This is the second time it's happening. And this is going to be the last time that the Tower of Babel is built. This time they're building it digitally. So we're going to go with Genesis. Chapter 11, verse 1. So title of this basically is what happened once is happening again, New World Order, and various end time topics. So universal language, Babel, confusion. Okay, it's topic of chapter 11. Oh, come on now. I'm gonna start doing this. Man, computer always start bugging. an hour when I want to do a video. So, and it says, and oh, come on. Please tell me this thing ain't doing the same thing. I'll have to go back and listen to it to make sure it's not bugging out. I know it says something about, give me a second, bear with me. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Saying I need to do that, but let's, Lord willing, it works right. Okay, so now we back. So it says, and the whole earth was of one language, which right now, you know, the universal language is English, and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. This is the last time they built the Tower of Babylon. And they dwelt there, and they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. Let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. You know, when we keep reading down, he confounded languages. But this is the first time not America Babylon the Great, but this is the first time the Tower of Babel was created. And this time it's a digital Tower of Babel, you know, which is from the CBDC, you know, which is the MOTB system that they're trying to issue in. So when you come over here to Habakkuk, you talk about Esau eating the so-called white man, because this is a different time now. But it's the same process of this Tower of Babel being built again. So it says, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5 reads, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, which means he takes everybody else's resources, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. So what does he do since he's not satisfied? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's what he did. You know, he heaped himself together, all the different nations, you know, and that's what this new place is. You know, they call America Babylon the Great, the melting pot. You know, there's all different type of races and languages they gather through, and through thy traffic, he has gained the riches. And you know what? Let's pull it up real quick before we move on. Can even do this lesson a little better now. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 5, and it reads, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because thy riches. That's how it was in the last Babylon. Hearts is lifted up. Therefore thus saith the Lord Bahasham, Yahawashi, because thou hast set thine heart, which is their mind, which is loathed in Hebrew as the heart of Yahawah. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. So that's what's coming up next for America Babylon the Great. Okay, just like old Babylon, it was taken down by the Medo-Persian Empire, and Medo is the Medes is basically Iran today, modern day Iran, and the Persians is Russia. Okay, modern day Russia. So when you look up in the scriptures, talk about Gog and Magog. That's Gog and Magog, and they're gonna take down this place again for the second time. It's gonna be the same story, but it's gonna be on a greater scale, and it's gonna be through intercontinental ballistic missiles coming from the east. Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. The 202,000 horsemen, which is 200 million intercontinental ballistic missiles. So now we're going to go over the Revelations. We're going to stick over here with chapter 13, verse 6. And it reads, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahawah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And the power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, just like old Babylon. They had all tongues, they heaped them together. They had everybody say, come on, let's do this. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. That's all them, the other 17 nations. They're not written in the book of life. They don't get immortality. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leaveth into captivity shall go into captivity. So what they did last time and all the other captivities, went through a lot of different captivities. This is our last captivity. We went through the Babylonian captivity, the Persian captivity. We went through all these different captivities. And there's a list of them that Great Millstone has. I can't think of it right now. All the different captivities. Let me see, because I actually got notes on it, but it's been a while since I touched up on it. But this is the last captivity. I know it was the Roman captivity, which is 70 AD, which leads up to this captivity now, which is in America, Babylon the Great. That's what we're going to stick with for right now, and then Lord willing, I'll put in the comment board all the captivities. I know it's at least 5 or 6, but I'll go type them in to give that edification. I don't want to go dig into it and look for it right now. I'm gonna stay on top. So it's basically just showing, he that leaveth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So everybody who took us into captivity all throughout this time, we're going to put them in the captivity. And that's what's coming up. History repeats itself. And these are the only people that have not been in the captivity. And this is what the Lord's changing, but it's still the same story. The ending is being flipped like he said it would. It has to be a prophecy. So now we're going to do Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns, which is the original NATO, United Nations, United Nations, UN, which I saw upon the beast, which is basically money, power, and religion, which is United Nations, NATO, and the EU, all joined together. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See? With what? The intercontinental ballistic missiles. For Yahawah have put in their hearts, which is their minds, to fulfill this will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, and to the words of Yahawah be fulfilled, which is what? To destroy this place. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. This is how we know this place is America, Babylon the Great, because where do you got to go? Everybody had to use the dollar, but now it's getting rid. Now they're getting rid of it, And that's how Babel was last time. They had one language, they had one currency, they had, all were on one accord to build this tower, and that's how they want to do it this time, But now we're going to talk about what's going to come next after that. Okay, what has been spoken in since the dawn of time to come to existence after the event of uh, the beast system to be destroyed forever. Okay, so Daniel 7:13, and I saw night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, Yahawashi, came with the clouds of heaven and came to the ancients of days, and they brought him near before him. See, he was Yahawashi was bring to the Father because Yahawah is the ancient of days. Okay, he was before time, and they was giving him dominion and glory. Let's talk about Yahawashi. That was giving him dominion and glory in the kingdom that people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. And in a sense, he has been given dominion over all the nations, even the wicked. He's got dominion over them. You know, he controls, the Lord controls, you know, the right hand side and the left hand side, you know, for his will. Okay, the Lord is giving him dominion. And in the end, he's going to be in control of all these. That's why it says in Revelations, the white horse that comes and takes over all the kings and the crowns is going to be Bahasham, Yahawashi. So that's just to show you a little bit that this system is the new Tower of Babel right here, the digital Tower of Babel. Okay, so it says CBDCs will lead to absolute government control. From China to Canada, it's clear governments around the world are salviating in the prospect of introducing currencies they can manipulate hassle-free, arguing over the prudence of implications of issuing a central bank digital currency, CBDCs or MOTB, in the United States has seemingly become one of the Washington's favorite icebreakers. As Congress considers the question, it is critical that Americans clearly understand and soberly consider. It says to think soberly, know the times, the immense power of the CBDCs or the MOTB, the MARK of the BEAST, could grant governments as well as unacceptable risks that powers potentials abuse. You know they're gonna abuse it. They always abuse stuff. So we're gonna listen to this fat ass Edomite and see what you guys say.
All our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
See? And he's talking about they want to rule everything. One government, one world system, one monetary system, enslavement. Digitally. This is the digital Tower of Babel they're trying to build. And ultimately, Edom is trying to build an artificial birthright because they know that they can't get the birthright back that Jacob has. Because it wasn't meant to ever be his anyways. Because there's no such thing as free will. According to let me see if I can pull his name up. Yeah, Yuval Noah Harari. That's his name. This guy, he's a so-called Jew. He tries to say he's Jewish or whatever, or Israelite or whatever. And he's literally with another man. Okay. And he go around talking about how, they can basically become gods. Okay. And, he goes on this seminar that I was watching. One of the elders, Elder Manazabak, he did a video on him showing some stuff he was talking about, and he said that there's no such thing as free will. He's right about that. Everything else he's lying about. There is no free will. Okay? There's no free will. Period. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Basically what I'm saying is they're gonna try to do this system, and it's gonna fail. Just like the last Babylon failed. It's gonna fail. Okay? And this is what they say about it. But in the United States, at least, which is America, Babylon the Great, it is not outlandish. It would be naive to ignore America's long journey developing an increasingly persuasive financial surveillance system, as well as the possibility of a CBDC or MOTB being used for the same purpose. America's policymakers have the chance to now arrest that trajectory and build a better system that more consistently represents citizens' right to privacy. You're not going to have no privacy. They just said total control. What do you mean total privacy? They're going to control everything. You can't have total privacy and total control. And that's what I'm saying. Like, these people going off, man. These people all over the place going off. So, this is how we know this is going to happen. There is no free will, according to their people as well. We know there's no free will, but we don't need them. We're just showing you that they understand that the Lord's going to come destroy this place, and they're acting like it's not. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to start right here. And then before we deal with this, we're going to deal with some other scriptures real fast. And let me pull this up first. Let's do 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, 2, 3. Now the Spirit speaketh expressively that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats, talking about the doctrine which Yahawah have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Who believes and know the truth? Great Millstone, they're the only ones who got the 100% truth. Everybody else don't have the 100% truth. So now we're going to do 2 Peter's. $3.15. And then we're going to go into this next article after we read this in one more precept. And basically what I'm trying to get at is trying to 2 Peter 3:15. It says, let's do this. Wherefore, beloved, verse 14, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless, and account that long suffering for our Lord Yahawashi is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul also, according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you, as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, talking about this time to come, in which some things are hard to be understood. See, some things are hard to be understood. You need elders and apostles to teach that stuff to you, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, which means like to wrestle against the doctrine, as they do also in other scriptures, unto their own destruction. See what I'm saying? That's why you don't want to just listen to anybody, okay? Because some people are just winging it, okay? They don't have the spirit is not dealing with them. So, verse 17, ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things, therefore beware ye, lest ye also being led away with the air of the wicked to fall from your own steadfastness. See, we steadfast in the Lord, and we keep the same doctrine. We teach what has been taught. Period. That's what you do. You teach what you've been taught. That's how it goes. So what's going on is they're trying to make this digital system because they know that the fiat currency, which is the dollar, is finna be gone. Okay, by September, it's gonna not be here no more. And when you look up that word fiat and you look it up in Latin, it means let it be. So the government just basically says that's money, but we know resources is money. Okay? According to Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. Let's look this up real quick. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and in gold. And that's what's money right now. And that's why central banks are doubling down on gold buying. Okay? They know that these are resources. So what they did was basically they used the sword. Esau, even the so-called white man, used the sword to take over the whole earth and take all the resources and had a bunch of trees, because they cut down all the damn trees, and they printed a bunch of fiat currency and said, to get supplies from us, you have to give us this dollar. See? To make you think it's worth something, but it's not worth nothing. The resources that you're getting are worth something. That's why you're trading them in for for water, food, clothes. But it said that you will come to your enemy and they shall want you for all things, or you shall want them for all things. That's what we did. We need water, food, clothes, shelter. Camp on Sunday with the elder. That's what we were talking about. So in February, central bank gold reserves rose by another 52 tons, according to the latest data. First 2 months of 2023, the central bank gold purchases came in at 125 tons, strongest year since 2010. And they're going to try to, save the dollar by this method, but we know it's not going to work. Okay, now the apostles were saying that it's smart to buy gold at that time. At the time that he was teaching, he was saying that it was expedient to buy gold because it would sustain you in that time. but he said it wasn't going to save you. You see what I'm saying? It's going to run out. And this is what's going to happen. Ezekiel 7:19, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. See, these damn devils think, and also 2/3, they think that this is what's going to save their ass. It's not going to save you. It said, Bahasham, Yahawashi, loadeth us up with daily benefits. So he says it also rewards the fool and the transgressors. So there's no way, that you're not getting anything unless it's coming from Bahasham, Yahawashi. The fool is Esau, Edom, and the transgressors is 2/3, because they just want to keep sinning. They don't want to come back to the Lord. So now we got that out the way, and we're gonna put it, and then we're gonna watch a little bit of this. So Revelations. Revelation 17:18, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th, and it goeth into perdition, and perdition means put to death. And the 7th, it says it's the 8th and not the 7th. The 8th is America, Babylon the Great, and the 7th is the Roman Empire, basically turning into America, Babylon the Great, coming back. And when you look at Rome, okay, the Roman Empire, they had a government system, which is the Flavians and the Patricians. And now you look at the government system of America, Babylon the Great. It's the Patricians, or it's the Republicans and the Democrats. It's as simple. And the 10 coins, which I saw, is the 10 kings, which is the 10 United Nations, NATO, First Nations, which received no kingdom yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. United Nations, NATO, and EU. And right now what's going on is this. Revelations chapter 5, verse 8. It says, and when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sang a new song, which is the song we're showing you, the song of Moses, the same song that was sang last time, because the Lord doesn't change. And they was telling you, just like it says in Revelations 18:21, that there will be a great millstone cast into the sea, which is talking about that great destruction, and it shall be found no more at all. So it says, and they sang a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book, which is talking about Jacob, the man first and foremost, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to Yahawah by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. This is talking about just for Israel. It has made us unto our God Yahawah kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. This is what's coming up next. After these other nations get destroyed, and they're going to get put into slavery. So this is what we're supposed to be doing until then. Psalms 10, chapter 15 says, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find no more. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be seeking out his wickedness, and pointing him out to the flock of Israel to identify him as the enemy. That's our job, to warn Israel of the future things that are coming ahead. That's what a prophet does. So right here, this is JP Morgan. Chase CEO says remote work doesn't work. And you know how I talked about in the other thing, it talked about how they're going to be safe, more safe, and blah, 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 blah. Well, this right here says JP Morgan CEO suggests government seize private property to quicken climate insensitives. So they said that you're going to be safe, but they're just talking about they're going to take private property from your ass. They're going to take all your shit. Let's watch this a little bit.
One of America's top CEOs is pointing out the flaws of working from home. Listen to this.
We have a lot of people back at work fully, and some working hybrid, and some jobs it's okay. But, it's better to be okay for the company, the clients, not just the individual. It doesn't work for young kids. It doesn't work for spontaneity. It doesn't really work for management. And, we shouldn't be, feeding the squeaky wheel here.
All right, you heard him doing math, so, Dagan and Sean are still here, back on the couch. They're the co-hosts of the new show, The Bottom Line on Fox Business. Sean Duffy, Dagan McDowell. Let's talk about the show in 1 second. Dagan, what do you think of what Jamie Dimon had to say?
Well, he was saying that on a rival loser network. He was also at Davos. Is any American CEO really looking out for the best interests of the United States of America by going to that boondoggle in Switzerland, simply spending money to hubbub and hobnob with a bunch of elites who maybe want to destroy our way of life? All that money he spent, what do the shareholders have to say about it? And the employees who could have gotten raises instead of him flying over there to do good?
See, they're telling you now, to this point, they're letting you know that these people are wicked and they're not for the people. And these Edomites are, they're putting the truth out there now. They used to not talk about the system like that or come against the system and get on the news and be saying, like, shouldn't they be doing something else? Or they fucked up for stealing shit. Like, they wasn't doing this, man. That shows you the division, America, Babylon the Great.
Maybe not. I digress. Hey, at least he wasn't unhinged and red in the face like Al Gore.
We're going to go
on. No. Working from home. Nice to see he judges productivity by how.
See how she said red in the face? Say he saw Edom came out red. See, they ain't so-called white people. White was made in the 1680s. Y'all are Edomites. You're pink.
Warm the seats are in the building. Employees, if they work from home, can't see how big his corner office is. I think that he is an old fuddy-duddy.
Really?
Yes. The way of the future for up-and-coming young people will be figuring out how to build a distributed workforce, because you will not have to spend money on real estate, and you will be able to hire the best and the brightest, and they will be able to live in the fine states of Texas and Tennessee and Nevada and Florida. They will be able to.
When they all in toothpicks from all the disasters and floods and all the shit that's been getting destroyed. What the fuck are you talking about, lady? This place is getting fucked up. You see what I'm saying? They act like this is just such a grand place to live. Go to these places. Go to these places. They're fucking destroyed. Okay? And this puts the spirit on me to say something else. Lord putting the spirit on me to deal with something else. So she's talking about everybody can go live. And she's not even talking about Jake. She's talking about the Edomite children that are in the boule. Okay? The ones that go to the colleges and they worship the Bohemian Grove and worship all those demons, all the ones that they got from the land of Canaan, which is the so-called Africans worshiping Baal and sacrificing and pedophilia. That's why I talked about pedophilia and also, the whole same-sex kind of deal, homosexuality. Because you had Ronald Reagan also was saying, he said he didn't like being around them maggots with an F. That's what he said. And then that's where I learned that from Pastor Har. And he also said that in 1970s, 70, 71, He drew a triangle with a pyramid, or a pyramid with a triangle in it, or whatever. Aussie and I with a triangle in it. And he said, I trust myself. And then they set him up and impeached him. But they didn't kill him because they still liked him. They still respected him. But that just shows you that he knew, like, hey, this is not right. Okay, this is wicked. Okay, even though he's wicked too. They're all wicked. You know, that was around 6-7 years after John F. Kennedy was saying that there was a conspiracy that was coming out, which is what? They're trying to build a Tower of Babel again. They killed him. They let him in. 7 years later, he come over here and said they doing all this weird stuff. And it was a custom back then that you had to be with the same sex kind of deal to be able to worship those Canaanite gods. That's why they call the place Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? The sodomizers. That's why it says this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, because they're doing a lot of sodomizing here. In Pompeii, okay, before they were destroyed, they were doing sodomizing. Anytime places are destroyed, this is by fire. They've been doing sodomizing, okay? Mark 13:2, and it reads, Yahawashi answering and said unto him, seest thou these great buildings? There shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So when she over here talking about all these great buildings, okay, and great places to live, that you're going to be able to hire the best, brightest people, what she really saying, they want to kill all Jacob and hire a bunch of robots, okay? This is some demons, okay? They're not trying to keep us around, okay? They're demons. So, like I said, anyways, you know, these people are wicked, and all they want to do is their artificial birthright, enslave the rest of the population that's left after the crisis. But it's not going to work. It's not going to pass. According to Job 5, chapter 12. And according to Yahawashi is going to take over all the kingdoms and destroy them all. You know, Job 5, chapter 12 says he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Their system's not going to work. Okay? They don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, we're going to go right here. Matthew 24:6 is what I want to pull up in a second, but we're going to deal with this. A beloved shoe store closes all stores, goes bankruptcy after 74 years in business. They're closing all 39 store locations. FSW shoe store, gone. That's how you know that the system is crashing. Okay? And as it says in Isaiah 19:15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay, and they also said, let me find it. I had it. Let me see. The Lord's steady taking work from this place. Me? Let's do this. They're also closing down Walmart in Arkansas, DC, Georgia, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, New Mexico, Oregon, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin. So they're steady shutting down stores, and there's not going to be no work left by the time everything progresses and comes about to be. So now we're going to deal with Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And we're going to watch a couple videos. It says, and this is Yahawashi speaking, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not. So this is some of those.
Israel's military says its jets have struck targets in southern Syria in response to earlier rocket attacks. The airstrikes hit a Syrian military compound and radar systems in the area from where the rockets were fired. The Israeli army says it holds the state of Syria responsible for all acts carried out on its territory. At least 6 rockets were fired from Syrian territory towards Israel overnight. Some landed inside the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights, but no casualties have been reported. CW correspondent Tanya Krema is in Jerusalem for...
That's them striking stuff. Israel says fighter jets have hit Syrian military compound. You know, there's no injuries, you know, what they were talking about. But that's, you know, that's a rumor that, you know, that's causing a war. Then you got right here, you got Ukraine war, who leaked top secret U.S. documents and why. Okay. And why did they do it? They did it because the Lord wanted. Okay. To happen, just like it says. This is the Lord down for the second time with the same people. Chapter 1, verse 7. And it reads, all the men of thy company have deceived thee. Damn it. To lock you. So, this doggone thing want to start messing up right when I get Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. I'm going to start. Especially have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So when you read that in the NLT, this is why they're taking it in there. Nervous about it. They're panicked. What to make the dozen of the dozens of classified U.S. defense on the internet, complete with timeline, penetrable military acronyms, paint a detailed picture of the war. Paint a detailed picture of the war in Ukraine. Man, come on, man, stop. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to start using my camera because this doggone thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start using my camera because this doggone thing spent all this money on Esau Edom's damn internet shit, and it just keep fading out. It's not worth it, man. So, anyways, complete with timelines, dozens of impenetrable military acronyms, the documents, some of them marked top secret, paint a detailed picture of the war in Ukraine, and basically, it says says out of 100 documents, the news has reviewed more than 20 documents, you know, and these other nations. What is going on? Okay. Salaki. These other nations deceiving America, Babylon the Great, and they don't even know it. Because when you look in the NLT, it says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help chase you from your land. They will promise peace. And that's what they've been doing. Russia and all them, China, they've been promising peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know it. That's what's coming. And we're going to go right here. We're going to do Luke. (12 verses 2). 12 verse 2. And it reads, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be shown. And America's nakedness is being discovered. You know, we're discovering that this place looks nasty as fuck after you curtains. Just like, you know, you go to the club and, you know, it's closing time and they turn lights on and everybody you thought they look good, they really don't look that good. You start to see the cuts on their face or whatever they got, blemishes and shit like that. That's how American Babylon the Great is. People starting to cut that light on, see that this ain't really what it is. So this is Luke 18 verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. This is what's going down. This is them being uncovered. Okay, people grabbing all their shit, and when, you know, they seen all their little documents and they seen that they were just trying to fuck over the other nations to make money. That's why they're not fucking with them no more. So right here is Dalai Lama kisses a young Indian boy and tells him the S-U-C-K my T-O-N-G-U-E. Fucking nasty motherfucker. While video causes international outrage. And I seen another article talking about, he said he was sorry. Motherfucker don't give a fuck if you sorry. You disgusting, bro. This is disgusting, bro. I'm not even playing that. Okay? These people are disgusting. Philippians. The Lord made him do that nasty ass shit. Fucking weird ass. Philippians chapter 2 verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, and sons of Yahawah without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. And this doesn't mean, you know, in this title, we're gonna look up the word perverse, because they're thinking it means something else. But look, if they think it means like being like, you know, it does, but in a spiritual sense, to distort, turn aside, to oppose, plot against the saving purposes of the plans of Yahawah, to turn aside from the right path, to pervert, to corrupt, misinterpret. So perverseness is to be misinterpreting the holy scriptures as well, not just perverseness like what he's doing. Because what he's doing is pretty perverse. You know, so you want to look at it in a spiritual sense as well. And do this.
Strong's G 1294. Diastrefo. Diastrefo.
Diastrefo. So you say that. This would be the Greek. So New Testament. So Matthew chapter 16 verse 4. And this says, the wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. And there will be no sign given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left him and departed. See, the only thing he's going to do is give the sign of the prophets. Okay, that's it. He's not going to give no other sign but the prophets. Okay, to show you that this is coming. So now we're going to talk about a few things. Gonna look up a few things. Also, this is Japan urges peace in Taiwan straight as Beijing stimulates to do with the attack. That's them simulating how they're going to attack Taiwan, of course. Taiwan. Slocky. Just fucking internet, man. China sends dozens of warplanes and warships to Taiwan. We're gonna watch this video and talk about the wars and the rumors of wars, and then we're gonna get into a couple other things, put in some precepts, and we're gonna get out.
你现在已经严重破坏地域和平、稳定及安全，请你立刻转向此地。如果你继续前进，我将采取驱离措施。
Shit's getting heated. See, that's what money looks like. Resources, metals, precious metals, gold, silver, cattle, you know, salt. That's true money. Okay, this is why they gave us a petrodollar and said, oh, you got money now. But what does Jake own? Jake don't own shit. So there's that. And then we're going to go with Hamburg police warn possible toxins due to fire. 140 evacuated. You know, this is going to cause a lot of death. Also, Burkina Faso, at least 100 or at least 44 killed in despicable and barbaric attacks. Okay. At least 44 people have been killed by Islamic extremists in attacks in the north Burkina Faso, the government has said. So there's been a lot of killing and stuff. A lot of killing, a lot of death. And you know, also right here, 8 missing people missing in a fire collapse in a Marshall building. Okay. So the point I want to make is that this is why you want to pay attention to Yahawashi. James 4:14. And we're going to look up a couple other things. As ye know, you're supposed to only think about today. But what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanisheth away. You got some people. When you look at Genesis 6:3, this is what it talks about. And it reads, and the Lord said, and the Lord Yahawashi said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. Which means he's tired of having them live for 900 years like Adam and them did, which is Yahawashi. And then, you know, you had other people that lived 900 years. that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. But you that this is a gradual thing, and it's went past this mark to where we only live about not even 80 years, not even 50 years, most of us, because of all the violence and judgment of the Lord. So when you look up this, let's look up verse 30. We go to it. Here. Days of terror were 205 years. So when you look up Genesis 6 and 3, Shalakia. Well, it says in Genesis 6 and 3, it says you live for 120 years at max. But it said right here in Genesis 11:32, the days of terror were 205 years. Terror died in Haran. So there are people who were living long, you know. They were living longer than that. But now we to the point to where it's done past 120 years or declined under 120 years. And people be This is how you know the Lord is judging the earth. So Salakia for that. Verse 4. But I want to pull up two precepts. Jeremiah 16:4, they shall die of grievous deaths, they shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. And this is what's happening in places like this. A whole bunch of people just getting killed. And it's going to be like this in America, Babylon the Great coming. That's what's coming up. Just like this place was slaughtered by Medo-Persian Empire last time, it will be this time, also joined with the other terrible nations. So, what I want to put in there. I think that's it. So, Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hope elect of Israel, your Hebrew Israelites, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites. They look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, the Yahawah, Barak, the Yahawashi, Barak, the Yahawah, Barak, the Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles, the great millstone, who led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth, live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercies, forgiveness, judgment, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, whomever they may be, and also to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of their number. Lord willing, to be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So Shalom, Wa Abal Babal.